we're going to do a combined Premier League 11, Spain and Germany, best players of both. Who's getting in the team?
Make sure you hang around to the end because we had to make the difficult decision of which manager to put in. So obviously with the big game happening overnight here in Australia between Spain and Germany, we thought what better time to get a bit of a combined 11 from some of the best players from the Premier League era of both. Should we agree on a bit of a formation that we want to look to see?
Yeah, let's go a 5-3-2. 4-3-3.
I thought you were going to say 4-4-2, which obviously we've discussed the death of the four, which we can put a bit of a link down the bottom for that one if you do want to catch that. But I think 4-3-3 hitting with the safe bet. Cool. Starting things off, goalkeeper. Do you want me to list some of the names that we kind of brainstormed a bit earlier? So we got David De Gea for Spain, Pepe Reina for Spain as well, Kepa for Spain, probably kind of just got in there. Face kind of says that all. And then Jens Lehmann for Germany.
Okay. For me, I think there's one standout there who's been doing it. Longevity.
Kepa. Get him in for the manager role as well.
Yeah, he's good. He's good manager, keeper. Yeah. Nah, I think best player whenever we play against them. It sucks that he plays for the, our biggest rivals, but hats off to this guy. He's been incredible.
De Gea, yeah, I'm going to go with De Gea then. Defenders. We'll sort of brush over the defenders because I think we could be a potential of maybe picking best and position. Could be a bit of a difficult one here.
Okay.
So defenders, some of the list. We've got Cesar Azpilicueta for Spain. We've got Laporte for Spain. Piqué kind of just creeps in there a little bit.
How long was he in there? Yeah.
Like maybe 2 years maximum for United. Spanish as well. Marcos Alonso for Spain, rounding those out. And then for Germany, we've got Marcus Babbel, Robert Huth, Per Mertesacker, Antonio Rudiger, and then Jerome Boateng.
Who also very short stint.
Yes, so that was kind of along the PK line of like very good player outside of the Premier League.
Yeah, so those guys. Okay, what do you want to do? I think we have to just make a decision on those guys because.
Yeah, okay, I'm happy to get rid.
So are we talking about best Premier League 11 Premier League career?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, because I think like PK and Jerome Boateng, based on overall careers, I mean PK's won absolutely everything. Boateng's got trophies with Bayern Munich all stacked up. He's got a World Cup there, but they've not done it in the Premier League. I would say. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if PK won the Premier League, but he was like a young kid squad player. So I'd rule them out.
Yeah, easy. Where do you want to start? Left back?
Yeah, we'll go left back. I think for me, Azpilicueta, he was the probably standout player there. He's quite versatile. I think he's played all across the back, the back line.
Right back, centre back, can play in a 3, can play in a full back role, whatever you want, wing back.
Although, just looking at, maybe this is the bit where we've not got a huge amount of depth. We might even need him as a right back.
I had kind of Marcus Babbel in there though. Bit of a favourite of mine, harking back to my childhood.
From back in the day.
Yeah, obviously did very well at Bayern Munich, but came to Liverpool. I think we won the treble the season he came.
Yeah, if he's probably better right back. I was thinking we might have to go as better right back and Alonso maybe left back. But
yeah, Marcus Alonso is very good. Did Marcus Alonso win the champ with Chelsea?
I think Tuchel was rotating between Chilwell and Alonso that whole time, but Chilwell I think played.
So tough decision then because he probably could be again. Probably did he get a Premier League winner with Conte?
Yeah. He was like
I think that was kind of when he really.
He's had some big seasons.
So that's a difficult one because
got a lot of goals.
I'm probably going Marcus Babbel off what I want and maybe my Liverpool bias versus you could say Marcus Alonso maybe has the Premier League CV.
Yeah, because he's got the Premier League trophy there. He's got a Champions League. He's there as a defender. He's got goals and assists to his name. He is kind of been someone who gets very far forward and.
Okay then. So do you want to go Alonso in at left back and then Caesar in at right back?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that. I think Alonso is one of those players similar to Trent, like great going forward. Maybe his critics come when he needs to defend. I mean, in terms of like a Premier League player, he's got everything that we need, and he's got the trophies as well in his cabinet.
Cool. So we've got 3 Spanish players in.
Okay.
So
Germany,
far.
Where are you?
So Germany, where are you at? I think Rudiger, just put him in straight away. Like I think he's top class.
I think for me the other one of Laporte probably goes in.
Yeah.
His career is a lot more recent. He's still in the Prem, still doing things with City. I think he's been great. He just qualifies as he was French for a long time there, and now he's recently Spanish.
Yeah.
But I think Robert. I think Robert Huth, Mertesacker,
Robert Huth, Premier League champion.
Yeah, maybe they've had longer careers, but the level they're at. I mean, if you had to pick one in your team, you know.
And the BFG.
Yeah, I think he's still involved with Arsenal now. I think he's working for them. Yeah, he's got a bit of longevity, but I think as an average player career, I think Rudiger is top quality, and Laporte, they're just at a higher level. Chuck them in. We've got our first German player.
Yes, well, at least we tick that box. All right, midfielders. Running through some of the midfielders that are definitely worth note. We got Xabi Alonso, bit of a favourite there for Spain.
Yeah, class.
Thiago, Juan Mata, David Silva, Mikel Arteta, Cesc Fabregas, Santi Cazorla, and Rodri. Oh.
There's so much quality in that. There's so much quality. Every time you list it, I was like, he's definitely going in.
Yeah, he's going in.
Definitely going in.
Yeah. We're going to put him in.
Every name, I was like, he's definitely... And then I've run out of spaces now.
Yeah. And then finishing off for Germany for our midfield-based players, we've got Mesut Ozil, Michael Ballack, Gundogan, and Haman.
I mean, the defence was, hit and miss. They're all so good. Every single one of those players.
We're going to have a really hard time knuckling this one down. Give me one name that has to go in this team. You can say, as a 6, as an 8, as a 10, I'm not really too bothered. Give me one name that has to be
I've got 2 names, I think, that have to go in.
Okay.
And that's David Silva.
Yeah.
And I like Cesc Fabregas.
Okay. Yeah. I think definitely, if we talk about these players, maybe favourites of teams, the example would probably be KDB right now. Like, undoubtedly, I love him, even though he's not a Liverpool player. I think Cesc Fabregas is probably that one for me.
At Arsenal.
Back in the day. At Arsenal, yeah. When he went to Chelsea, that was just like, what are you doing? But, when he was at Arsenal, you just can't help but really like him. I mean, Tottenham fans are probably, safe to differ, but it was one of those.
Classy player, on the ball. His assist numbers are crazy.
Yeah. Gonna throw a little bit of a curveball out and say... Could we maybe squeeze Silva onto the wing just to get him in the team and get more midfielders
I think so.
in?
I think there's so much quality that already I was thinking the same thing. Can we change this formation and get some more players in? Because Rodri's incredible. Cazorla was so good at Arsenal as well.
Juan Mata
as well. There was a season where he was probably the best midfielder in the Prem when he was at Chelsea.
Yeah.
It was crazy that Mourinho just for some reason didn't like him.
And we haven't even spoken about the 2 Liverpool players of Thiago and
Xabi
Alonso.
Alonso as well.
Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, as soon as you said Alonso, I was like, he'll get in. He's quality.
And then you say Thiago, put him in.
I think, a big thing for Thiago, he's an incredible player. Watching him, the things he does on the pitch is just incredible. The skill, the technical ability. But the same way we put him, we've mentioned Boateng and PK, I think he might be in that same category of probably had a great career, but maybe not done as much as we might like.
Yeah, okay. It is interesting because I think, I've heard a few people definitely say, and he could be in the category of possibly the most talented player to ever play in the Prem. In terms of, you think of the ability he's been given and what he can just do with a football, he's got to be in the top 5 easily ever in the Prem. He can probably miss out just to make room for others. Do you want to look at changing formation or just sliding people around in the 4-3-3? Because I think 4-3-3 is good.
Okay, we can put Silva on the wing. I mean, it's probably not his best position, but I think he has played there previously.
Yeah. Do you want to play him on the right so he can cut in onto the left?
Yeah, I guess that's the kind of the modern day thing to do.
Yeah. So let's agree with Fabregas. Yeah,
Fabregas for me, like you said, he's kind of a bit of a favourite for another team. Did his thing at Arsenal, went to Barca, won so much there, came back to Chelsea, different manager system, whole new era, really.
Yeah, I know what you mean, captain, all sorts.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this one, I feel like I can't do this list without putting Xabi Alonso in there. Okay. I know you're probably going to throw the argument he, was this world-renowned footballer at Madrid, but I just feel like when he was at Liverpool, he was
unreal. He's probably the only quality midfield Gerrard ever had with him. He was just playing with children and just little boys, and then Alonso comes in, they're all class, scoring from halfway, his passing is just unreal, and then going on to win things in Madrid, Bayern. I don't know, there's just some headliners in that midfield that have just had incredible Premier League careers.
Thinking Dietmar Hamann.
For me, like he's a great player, but maybe not him. I mean, Ozil kind of came in, lit up the Prem. He had some great seasons, did some things. Mata, I think,
great for assists, but I think we could probably take Ozil off the list or try to whittle it down. Maybe not. I just feel like for him, he's a luxury player.
Oh, okay. I agree with that.
And we could put a team of absolute lords in here that would be pure class.
How about Gundogan?
He was the one I was waiting for you to say. No, he was the one I was waiting for you to bring him up. Because for me, like, I just think, I wish Liverpool had got him. I just think he is so good. He can play literally anywhere in the midfield. He can play as a 6, 8 or a 10. And he's just like, yeah, I'll just be the best player on the pitch.
So, okay, you give the next now. I've put Silva and Fabregas in as definites.
I'm happy with both of them.
Yeah, this is the problem. They're great, but...
because someone like Rodri, absolute baller, winning Premier Leagues, fundamental for that side.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we really spoken about Arteta as well. Like, had a good career throughout the Premier League. He's probably one where we could take him out.
Save him for the manager's spot.
Yeah, definitely. We're almost doing like who we're not putting in here versus who we are.
Okay.
And again, Ballack was the one we haven't really spoken about as well. Amazing career in the Bundesliga. Came to the Prem, was a boss.
Wasn't there that long though, was he?
I think he won the Prem a couple of times. Won the FA Cup. So he's had a good Premier League career. But if you're jumping at players, I'm not saying he's worse or better, but for Premier League, probably take him out.
Take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So who's the next name in? I think between Gundogan and Alonso. Or should we go with them?
If we went with one over the other, who would be the other person? You thinking Rodri?
Yeah, I mean, Rodri, I think is a fantastic player. I think when you do these kind of things, and I'm thinking about, because he's still going, I think for me, I've always got a bias towards older players because maybe their career's sealed. We kind of know what they've done. It's all completed. And maybe even you kind of look at a bit more rosier, whereas he's still going, and maybe if he's playing for a team who's your rival, you kind of got a bit of against him, which I'm admitting I probably don't. I can respect what he's doing. Oh, I don't know, it's tough. I think Gundogan maybe is a name I'd chuck in.
Yep.
I mean, how about Cazorla? We've not mentioned him. Like, he's like the most two-footed player ever. Like, he's literally taking corners with both feet. Yeah, like he's on both sides. Like, what guys want? In swing out, swing out. I'll do either. Like,
yeah, from the left or the right, either way.
Yeah, like his teammates are like, I don't know what his good foot is because he's just using them both at all times.
Bit of confirmation bias being over. I'm leaning towards Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, put him in. I think he's great. I think maybe other rival fans probably don't give him the respect he deserves but I think Liverpool fans acknowledge how good he is, just like a classy player as well. Yeah.
No, I'm happy with that. So we've kind of taken 4 midfielders in there.
That's fine. I think it'd be a crime to miss out on like a David Silva who's we've put on the wing. If he wasn't in the team.
So then forwards, kind of rounding out, we did have 3 positions. We're now down to the 2 of left wing striker to fill. From Fernando Torres for Spain, Diego Costa, Luis Garcia, and Pedro, rounding out our Spanish players. Then for Germany, we've got Kai Havertz, Leroy Sané, Jurgen Klinsmann, kind of just getting in there, maybe that bit of flair player as well, and then Lucas Podolski rounding that one off. Straight away, we can probably go with elimination here. I think Podolski is going to be out.
Yeah.
Great player, scored some massive goals for Germany, probably not the best. Diego Costa, fantastic player. You could say was almost like that second Drogba for Chelsea. Probably 1 or 2 players better than him on that list. So I'm going to take him out. I don't know if you're happy with that.
I mean, I do think he is a good player, but there's a striker I've got in mind who I'd put ahead of him, but then I don't think you can probably play that guy on the wing.
So let's touch on that striker then. Up front, I'm thinking Fernando Torres.
Yeah, I think he's definite in the team. Torres.
Yeah, okay. I think it's worth pointing out, so many people do remember kind of how he finished at Chelsea, or his whole Chelsea career, really. But especially like those first couple of seasons at Liverpool.
He was unreal.
He was arguably the best striker on the planet.
He was untouchable. Scoring goal after goal.
Pace, power, everything you want. Link up with Stevie G. I mean, if he counts trophies as success, which everyone does, it's probably the right decision. But in terms of his overall career trajectory, leaving Liverpool was probably one of the worst things.
It was all downhill from there, right? I mean, he did go back to Atletico, and he probably loved it there. But
played over at AC Milan.
But like you said,
in Japan as well.
I think at Liverpool, he probably was considered the best striker.
Definitely the best number 9.
Yeah, and then from there, didn't even get a look in the minute he left Liverpool. I mean, he did get injured.
Does that taint putting him in then?
No, I think his Liverpool career
was
so good. The only thing for me that I was thinking, I mean, there's some great names there, and we are talking about how good he was as a number 9. But Torres on the wing, and I think Costa is also a big name.
Yeah, but I don't think Torres could play wide. I don't think that.
Okay. If we're ruling that out and we can only pick one, I'm definitely going Torres.
Cool. So finishing off that left wing position, maybe not specifically where they would usually play, but we've got David Silva playing on the right, so this player isn't as good as David Silva, so he gets preference. Names jumping out: Garcia, Pedro, Havertz, Sane.
I can narrow it down to 2 and send it back to you. I like Pedro and Sane.
Yeah, I'm glad you said Sane because he was jumping out to me. I think Pedro, again, won pretty much everything with Barcelona. Yeah. In fact, I think he also won pretty much everything with Chelsea.
I think you might be right there.
Yeah. Because I definitely know he's won the league there. And he's won so many cups. So it's very difficult because I also really like Sane. I just think that pace, getting him behind. Yeah. And maybe, if we're looking at this from a team perspective, if we've got that Silva playing on the right, he's going to look to cut in. He's not getting on beyond anyone. He might be the balance to that.
Sane.
Because he can stay wide, chalk on his boots, old-fashioned, can get running at people, kind of balancing
Silva's it maybe lacking a bit of pace on that side, so maybe Sane...
that's what I mean. Offering it on that side balances it out.
Yeah. I think, his time at City, he was scary. I mean, when Liverpool were playing City and he's just destroying Trent down that side.
Cool. So that kind of rounds out
the players.
And our final task, which is probably going to be the hardest of the lot, is the manager. So for Spain, we've got a small-time guy, hasn't really won much, Pep Guardiola. We've got Rafa Benitez. We've got Mikel Arteta, who also got a mention as a player as well. So congratulations to him for getting on both lists. And then Unai Emery, who we know has kind of come back to the Premier League now, had a shot with Arsenal, come back with Aston Villa. Should we cut the cake here and just go for the big 2?
There's only 2 names getting a look in. Benitez, I think, had a decent time at Liverpool. He did challenge for the league in one season, got pretty close, won the Champions League, but he's nowhere near the same bracket, I think, as Klopp and Guardiola.
Yeah.
Those 2. Guardiola's done absolutely everything, transformed the game. I mean, this debate is something that goes on forever and ever, Klopp and Guardiola. Guardiola, I think, my personal opinion has always been he's had quite the luxury of managing much higher teams, City, Barca, Bayern, and he's done well with them, but a broken record where he does need a lot of money to do so. He's kind of the guy for the elite clubs, whereas Klopp, as a manager, has done a lot better job of bringing lower clubs up. In saying that now, I think in terms of managing this team of these players, especially because they are maybe we are a bit Spanish heavy, maybe Guardiola could get more out of them.
Yeah. It is difficult as well because I think obviously we have this inbuilt bias towards Jurgen and everything that he's done for our club and our city.
Yeah.
So I think, again, if you're saying one or the other, I always love putting that argument for Klopp forward in terms of if you look at, yes, the teams that Guardiola's managed are these amazing mega teams, but you look at the teams after the managers leave and where they go, their trajectory after that. Guardiola leaves a Barcelona and they're winning Champions Leagues. He leaves a Bayern Munich and they're winning the league every year. Whereas a Jurgen Klopp, Mainz, going up and down, promotion relegations. Dortmund haven't won anything of note since. They've won a cup competition here and there. So there's this kind of reality sinking in of Klopp can take you from pretty low to the highest of heights and punch above your weight.
Where they are after, the biggest one for Klopp is where they were before. So yeah.
But that's what I mean. They've come from this to go to the top. Yeah. Then he leaves, they go down. Whereas Guardiola is having, this amazing coach.
He goes to a team that's winning the league.
And they still win after him.
And he goes there, they continue to win the league, and he leaves, and they continue to win the league.
Yes.
So it's you did a good job.
Good job. Take nothing away from him.
Yeah, but you've not transformed the club.
Yeah.
For that reason, I'm normally on the Klopp side, and obviously, people say that's biased. We're Liverpool fans. You will do it. But I think that's so valuable and spending a lot less money. People say you spend a lot, but that's due to sales of players and his net spend is so low. If he's selling Coutinho and your best player and then he's spending that money elsewhere, I think that's a lot better than Guardiola just pouring money in and in. In a contrast to that, when I'm looking at this team sheet of players and I just think what type of players they are, how they'll play, I think the whole kind of tiki-taka possession game probably suits these guys. We've got a lot of, there's a couple of City players in there who Pep did coach. Gundogan Klopp has managed. Other than that, I think the players probably suit the Spanish style, the Guardiola style. So for that reason, I would put him in to manage this team. But if we're going to say overall who we think is the better manager, I'm leaning towards Klopp. So what's the question?
Yeah, I guess we have done it with players where we've ruled them in or out based on things they've done external to the Premier League. So I think, unfortunately, we're probably going to have to do that with these managers.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to be like, hey, what have they done in the Premier League? Klopp has not won as many Premier League titles as Guardiola. So if you're bringing in someone who doesn't know anything about football, which, people might say that to you and I, they're going to say Guardiola straight off the bat just based on numbers. I think we've got to go with Guardiola on this one against my feelings or what I would usually say, and say just he's up there with one of the best Premier League managers of all time.
Oh, completely, yeah. I think what he's done, a lot of people will be modelling their game off that. So yeah, I think that basically completes our task.
Yeah, cool. Did you want to run through it quickly? Who we finished off? So in goal, we've ended up with De Gea.
Yeah.
Left back, we've gone with Alonso. Centre back pairing, we've gone with Rudiger and Laporte, with Cesar Azpilicueta filling in right back for us. We've gone a midfield three of you can pick who's playing what roles. We've gone with Xabi Alonso, Gundogan and Fabregas. We've gone with sort of an inverted right winger in David Silva, someone who we couldn't leave without and was almost one of the first names on the team sheet, but due to versatility, I think we've played him out of position. On the left wing, we've got Leroy Sané, and then up front to finish off in the number 9 position is Fernando Torres. Manager, rounding it off, we've gone with Pep Guardiola.
That was a tough one. What's the balance of German?
Total running through.
So we've got 12 including the manager.
12 including the manager. We have gone for 3 German players there.
And 9 Spanish.
And, including the manager as well.
I think probably more Spanish players have come through.
Yeah.
So naturally it'll be weighted a bit more that way. But yeah, no, I'm happy with that. There's some tough calls to make.
Perfect. Make sure you let us know in the comments down below, guys, because I'm sure there's been a few contentious decisions made there. Who have we left out that you would have liked to see put in? Who have we put in that you were like, yeah, that's a dead cert? As always, if you did like the video, make sure you drop that in as well. Subscribe, as always.
And hit that bell button so you get notified when we drop this video.
Cool, guys. Till we see you next time.
All right, thanks, guys. That was Red, mate.